What do you mean, insufficient funds? Check it again. I have $2 million in that account. I deposited it myself. I'm sorry, ma'am. I've refreshed the page 3 times. The balance is 0. That's impossible. It's a secure offshore trust. No one has the password but me, not even my husband. Vanessa thought she had committed the perfect crime. For 5 years, she had been siphoning money from her husband's business, hiding it in a secret account he didn't know existed. She had her bags packed. She had her plane ticket booked. She was ready to leave him and start a new life with the millions she had stolen. But she made one fatal mistake. Are you looking for the money, Vanessa? She thought her husband was oblivious. She thought he was just a workaholic who didn't pay attention to the details. She had no idea that he had found the account 6 months ago, and while she was planning her escape, he was planning her bankruptcy. Let's go back 3 years. David and Vanessa seemed like the power couple of the city. David ran a high-end logistics firm. He was the kind of man who worked 18-hour days to build his empire. He was generous, trusting, and deeply in love with his wife. Vanessa played the part of the supportive partner perfectly. She managed the household. She hosted the dinner parties. She smiled for the magazines. But behind the smile, Vanessa was bored. And more importantly, she was greedy. He's working late again, Mark. It's pathetic. He thinks he's building a legacy. He's just building my retirement fund. Just be patient, babe. How much did you move this month? $50,000. I categorized it as consulting fees for the new warehouse project. David never checks the line items. He trusts me too much. 50 is good, but we need 2 million if we want to buy the villa in Italy. Push harder. Mark was Vanessa's personal trainer. He was younger, fitter, and completely broke. He saw Vanessa not as a lover, but as a lottery ticket. Together, they hatched a plan. It was called Operation Exit Strategy. Over the next 2 years, Vanessa would slowly bleed David's company dry, hide the cash in a secret account in the Cayman Islands, and then disappear. The theft started small. Extra expenses for home renovations. Charity donations to foundations that didn't exist. But as the account grew, Vanessa got sloppy. She got arrogant. It was a Tuesday evening. David came home early, looking exhausted. Vanessa, I'm home. David, you're early. I was just going over the household budget. You know, I was looking at the quarterly reports today. The consulting costs for the warehouse renovation are through the roof. Do we really need 5 different design firms? Oh, David, you know how contractors are. They nickel and dime you. If you want quality, you have to pay for it. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. You make the money, let me worry about spending it to make us look good. I guess. It just seems excessive. Do you trust me? Of course I trust you. Then let me handle it. Go take a shower. You look stressed. David kissed her on the forehead and went upstairs. Vanessa let out a breath she had been holding. She texted Mark immediately. He asked about the consulting fees. We need to accelerate the timeline. I'm moving the rest of the liquid assets this week. Vanessa thought she had deflected him. She thought David went upstairs to shower. She didn't know that David didn't go to the shower. He went to his study. And he didn't call a contractor. He called his old college roommate, Steve. Steve was a forensic accountant for the FBI. On the phone, serious. Steve, I need a favor. Off the books. For you? Anything. What's going on? Trouble with the IRS? No. Trouble with the books. I have money bleeding out of the company. It looks like legitimate expenses, but the vendors, I can't find them. Apex Consulting, Blue Horizon Design. They have no websites, no physical addresses. Send me the routing numbers, I'll trace them. If they are shell companies, I'll find out who owns them. For the next 2 weeks, David played the role of the oblivious husband. He took Vanessa to dinner. He bought her jewelry. He acted like nothing was wrong. But every night while she slept, he was in his study mapping out the theft. Then, the email from Steve arrived. David, I traced the vendors. They all funnel into a single offshore trust in the Caymans. The account is under the name VM Holdings, Vanessa and Mark. David stared at the screen. VM, Vanessa, Mark. He felt sick. The betrayal wasn't just financial, it was personal. He looked at the total amount transferred over 3 years. $2,400,000. It was almost all of his liquid savings. She didn't just steal from me. She gutted me. Most men would have screamed. Most men would have filed for divorce immediately. But David was a logistics expert. He knew that if he confronted her now, she would hide the money, destroy the evidence, and fight him in court for years. He needed to be smarter. He needed to be quieter. He needed to steal it back. David called Steve back. "Steve, can we freeze the account?" "Legally? No, it's offshore. It would take a federal warrant and years of litigation. By the time we get a judge to sign off, she'll move the money to Switzerland or crypto. It'll be gone." "So I can't touch it? It's my money." "Technically, you can't touch it. Unless what? Unless you have the password. You said the shell companies were set up using your home IP address, right?" "Yes." "Vanessa isn't a hacker, David. She's lazy. I bet she saved the login credentials on her laptop browser. If you can access her computer physically, you can access the bank." That night, Vanessa went out for drinks with the girls. David knew she was meeting Mark. He waited until her car pulled out of the driveway. He went to her vanity table. He opened her laptop. He guessed the password on the first try. It was her birthday. He opened the browser. There it was, the offshore bank portal. The username and password were auto-filled. Access granted. The screen loaded. Balance, $2,400,000. David's finger hovered over the transfer button. He could transfer it back to his company account, but she would see the notification immediately. She would know he knew. He needed to time this perfectly. He needed her to feel the loss at the exact moment she thought she had won. "I'm not going to take it yet. I'm going to wait until the day she leaves." 3 months passed. The tension in the house was suffocating. Vanessa was cold, distant, and constantly texting. Finally, the day arrived. David went to work as usual, but he didn't go to the office. He sat in his car down the street watching his own house. At 10 a.m., a moving van pulled up. Mark jumped out. They started loading boxes. Vanessa's clothes, her jewelry, even the paintings off the walls. "Hurry up! He comes home for lunch sometimes. I want to be on the plane to Rome by tonight." "Did you check the account? Is the money ready?" "I checked it last night. 2.4 million. We are going to live like kings, baby." They finished loading. Vanessa sat at the kitchen table and wrote a note. "David, I'm leaving. I never loved you. I only loved the lifestyle. Don't try to find me. By the time you read this, I'll be out of your jurisdiction." She left the note on the counter, locked the door, and drove away with Mark. As they drove to the airport, Vanessa pulled out her phone. "I'm going to transfer the funds to our Italian account now, just to be safe." She opened the banking app. She logged in. She smiled. And then, she screamed. "What? No, 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 no!" "What is it? What's wrong?" "It says zero. It says, look! Balance, $0.00. "You're joking. Refresh it." "I did. It says transfer complete, 9:55 a.m. That was 10 minutes ago. Who transferred it?" "Did you get hacked? Call the bank." Vanessa frantically dialed the number for the offshore bank. Her hands were shaking so hard she dropped the phone twice. "Hello? This is Vanessa Miller. My account is empty. Someone stole my money." "One moment, Ms. Miller. I see the transaction here. It was a wire transfer initiated at 9:55 a.m. "Initiated by who? I didn't do it." "It was initiated using the primary security credentials. And the destination account..." "One moment. The funds were transferred to a charity account." "A charity? What charity?" "The David and Vanessa Foundation for Financial Literacy." Vanessa froze. The blood drained from her face. Her phone buzzed. An incoming call. Caller ID, David. Answering slowly. "David?" "Hello, Vanessa. I assume you're on the way to the airport?" You stole it! You stole my money!" "Your money?" "Vanessa, that was my company's operating capital. You embezzled it. That's a federal crime." "I earned that money. I put up with you for 3 years. Give it back, David. Mark and I have nothing." Oh, Mark is there? Put him on speaker. Look, man, I don't want any trouble. Shut up, Mark. Listen to me closely, both of you. I didn't transfer the money to a charity. That was just the name I gave the account to make you panic. I transferred it to a holding account controlled by the FBI. The FBI? Yes. You see, I couldn't just take the money back or you'd claim it was a marital asset in the divorce. So I handed the evidence of your embezzlement to my friend Steve. Since you crossed state lines with stolen funds and you used wire transfers, that's wire fraud and money laundering. They aren't meeting you in Rome, Vanessa. They're meeting you at the airport. Terminal 4. You're lying. You wouldn't send your wife to prison. My wife died a long time ago, Vanessa. I don't know who you are, but you're about to be famous. David hung up. Vanessa looked at Mark. Mark looked at Vanessa. Then Mark looked at the road. Stop the car. What? We have to keep going. We have to figure this out. There is no we. I'm not going to jail for you. I thought you had money. You're broke and you're a felon. Get out. Mark, you can't leave me here. Mark pulled over to the side of the highway. He unlocked the passenger door and shoved Vanessa out. He threw her suitcase onto the gravel. He sped away, leaving her stranded on the side of the road with nothing but a worthless plane ticket and an empty bank app. Vanessa didn't make it to the airport, but the police did find her, standing on the roadside, crying, screaming at her phone. When they arrested her, she tried to tell them it was all a mistake. She tried to blame David, but the digital trail was undeniable. David sat in his study. The house was quiet. The paintings were gone. The jewelry was gone, but his company was safe. He looked at his laptop. The FBI agent had just texted him. Asset recovery confirmed. She's in custody. Case closed. Vanessa is currently serving 8 years for embezzlement and wire fraud. Mark was arrested 2 days later as an accomplice. He turned on Vanessa instantly to get a reduced sentence. David rebuilt his life. He found someone new, someone who didn't care about the bank balance but cared about him. Vanessa hid millions to leave him. She had no idea she was digging her own cell. She learned the hard way. You can hide the money, but you can't hide the paper trail. What would you do if you found out your partner was stealing from you? Would you call the police or handle it yourself like David? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love seeing justice served, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.